What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Poke Office. My name is Colin. Can you believe it is July 2024 already? Things are moving quickly, and that means it's time for another one of our Pokemon sealed product investing videos. This time for July 2024, we're going to look at booster boxes, a bunch of them. And the reason I look at booster boxes is, number one, booster boxes are my favorite type of investment for sealed products in Pokemon. Number two, I think the booster boxes just tell that overarching story of what's going on with any given Pokemon set. Now, the other thing I want to tell you about before we get to all the data is that I'm going to share with you the 1 month graph of some of these booster boxes and the 12-month graph of some of these booster boxes, because they're going to tell you a little bit of a different story. Of course, if we zoom in, we can see what's actively happening with a Pokemon booster box. But if we zoom out a little bit, it gives us the bigger picture of what's actually taking place. Now, all last month, I was talking about just buy the new Pokemon booster box set every single month and then let it sit there for a couple of years. And we're talking years, not months. We are in this for the long haul. So that's why when we look at the 1 month and the 1 year graphs on these booster boxes, we want to see the inside, close short-term picture, but the bigger picture as well. Because if you think back to the stock market or the housing market, back to 2008 when that housing prices all tanked all over the place, if you look at the graph now from 2008 to 2024, that is just the smallest little blip on the radar. The same is true with Pokemon. Right now, if you look at the 1 month graph, these things are going to be like, wow, there's a big drop. But if you look at the year-long graph, and if we could even zoom out further on TCG Player only gives up to 1 year graph, but you're going to see things are not as they always appear, because in the big picture, these things just continue to increase in price. Let's get to the data and we'll see what I'm talking about. All right, as always, there's a couple pre-orders we need to talk about. First one being Shrouded Fable, which is only a month away. It's July 1st right now, and it comes out on the 2nd of August, so a month and a day. Crazy stuff. Pokemon is moving quick, and it's going to continue moving quick. Shrouded Fable going to be a pretty small set from what I've read and looked at. I don't know if I'm that excited about it. This is a spoiler alert, so if you don't want to see the card, skip ahead a little bit. But here we go. We got the Okidogi, the Munkidori, the Pheasantipity, and the Pecharunt. These are the special illustration rare Pokemon cards out of Shrouded Fable. And I'm going to be honest with you, I said this about Twilight Masquerade and my mind changed a little bit. Shrouded Fable is not giving me amazing vibes right off the bat. I don't love these special illustration rare cards. That being said, sometimes when you see them in person rather than on a screen, it makes a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to be interested. I'm still going to want to open Shrouded Fable, but I understand if people are a little hesitant about it. And it's just taking Pokemon that maybe people haven't warmed up to yet from Scarlet and Violet era. But here's the really cool one, is the Cassiopeia. I always say Cassiopeia for some stupid reason. Cassiopeia. And I think this card actually is a total banger. Love the Sylveon in the background. I think this card looks really cool. I personally think this is going to be the biggest chase out of Shrouded Fable, and I've heard from other people that they think the exact same thing. Okay, other news. We talked about it late last week. Stellar Crown was just announced and up for order on Pokemon Center. The Scarlet and Violet number 7 main set. Here's what I really like about it. The Terapagos is meh, whatever, but the Lapras, if they make a Lapras special illustration rare, I think that is going to be totally awesome. We also have a Cinderace pack in here, and it comes out 13th of September, 2024. Literally 5.5 weeks after Shrouded Fable. So things are moving really, really quick. Here is a couple of the cards that have been spoiled so far. We got the Joltik illustration rare. The Noctowl is the promo card inside of the Elite Trainer box. This one also comes with a Pokemon Center stamp. If you get those Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, they're available for pre-order right now on Pokemon Center. And then 2 special illustration rares have been leaked already. The Hydrapple and the Terapagos. Terapagos, I like the artwork and I like the borders surrounding it, but I don't know how much I love the card. And the Hydrapple, I think the artwork is absolutely spectacular. So this will be interesting. Lots more to learn about Stellar Crown before it comes out. Okay, just one Japanese box that I want to go over today. The Pokemon card 151. This thing has just completely tanked. Approximately $66 on PokeNE.com right now. $66 for this box. At Card Party a couple weeks ago, we were buying booster boxes of Pokemon card 151 for $50 US. Absolutely nuts. considering it was like upwards of $200 just a few short months ago. So it'll be interesting. I still think it is one of the best sets to ever come out, but with this huge reprint, the market is going to definitely take a hit. All right, Sword and Shield booster boxes. This is why you buy early. I've included all of the Sword and Shield booster boxes. I just want you to see the long-term picture, because lots of times people were literally buying all of these booster boxes, every single one when they came out, for $100 or less. And now look at the prices. Okay, Sword and Shield base set up to $294.24. That's a 6-month graph. So actually a nice 7.4% gain over the last 6 months. We're not going to look at these old ones too closely. Rebel Clash down 7.1%. But if you bought this box for $100, I guess 4 years ago, you're still up a lot. You're doubled your money in 4 to 5 years. It's not even 5 years old. It's 4 years old. $214.41 is where Rebel Clash currently sits. And Rebel Clash is known as one of the weakest sets out of Sword and Shield. Still $214. This one, from everything you gather, Rebel Clash wasn't printed all that much because it wasn't that popular. Maybe there's a set in Scarlet and Violet era that isn't printed that much because it wasn't that popular. You never know. You never know. Okay, Darkness Ablaze. One of the ones, also a really weak set in my opinion. It's over MSRP now. It's up 3.8% over the last 6 months, currently at $149.23. This is the thing. Even a weak set makes it to MSRP. If you bought Darkness Ablaze at $100, you're up 50%. That is not half bad for the bad ones. Vivid Voltage, same thing. This one actually one of the few, I think maybe the only 2 booster boxes, maybe only one, I can't remember, that is still below MSRP on TCG Player market price. $136.66. On the rise, though, people are just like buying up Sword and Shield booster boxes, whatever they can get. And this one has a nice increase over the last 6 months. Battle Styles, there's the second one that's still under MSRP, but a nice gain. It's up 30% over the last 6 months, up to $137.61. You think Battle Styles is going to be worth MSRP at some point? Yes, it is. I think so. Okay, Chilling Reign, here is where we're going to start looking at the 1-month graph and the 12-month graph. So this is where the two stories align. So if we look right now, just over the last month, Chilling Reign up over 5% to $230. Nice gain, but it looks like it's leveled off. Let's take a look at the 1-month graph. Dang, huge gain, 62.4% gain, and a year ago it started at $141.92. Okay, think about it. If you bought this right at the start, Chilling Reign, you could have bought for $100, and then you would be up like well over double. It's ridiculous. And this set is what, 2.5 years old, something like that. Not too shabby. Evolving Skies, we all know about it. Up 2.1% over the last month. So a pretty nice gain, honestly. 2% on a... Now it's at $700. It crossed $700 for this booster box. That is absolutely nuts. But if you look at the year, you're going to hate yourself for not buying Evolving Skies. $394.62, up 77.5% over the last year. I was like, a year ago, man, I shouldn't buy Evolving Skies. It's way too expensive. Look at me now. I'm upset about it. Fusion Strike. Oh no, it's down 2.3% over the last month. It's really crashing. Sword and Shield is really crashing, which there's videos out there right now and posts out there about Sword and Shield can't maintain this level of growth. Well, up 65.5% over the last year. You were buying this box for MSRP a year ago, and just really in the last 6 months has gained 60-something%, up to $237. Absolutely ridiculous. Brilliant Stars, oh no, it's down a little bit. 6.4% drop over the last month. Yeah, up 27.9% over the last year, baby. This one absolutely still crushing it, $181.52. And this set, it's only 2 years old. 2 years old, and you've gained 30% almost based on MSRP alone. And you could buy this box for under MSRP for a long while. Astral Radiance, same thing. This one, not that long ago, was like $110 on TCG Player. You're going to see it. So over the last month, up 1.3%, actually doing pretty good, $179.17. Now, over the last year, up 52.5% from $117. And before that, it was even lower than that. Like, I bought these boxes for dirt cheap. And I'm feeling pretty good about my decision to buy Astral Radiance when it was in the toilet. Lost Origin, down 12.6%. So a big drop on this booster box because it was just raging up high over the last, as you'll see in the year-long graph. So from December all the way to May, it was on a rager up to a high of almost $240. Now it's came back quite a bit, but still $186.67. It's a 33% gain when you bought it at $140. And I think lots of us were actually able to get it for a little bit cheaper than $140 because it was cheaper than that. Absolutely crazy. All right, Silver Tempest. This is the interesting one because still available on Pokemon Center. The only Sword and Shield booster box that's available on Pokemon Center. Right now, you can go buy 4 of them for MSRP. And on TCG Player, market price is $163. Look at the last year. It had that dip long time ago because it got reprinted, and now it's just been on the up and up ever since that reprint finished. And even with all the God packs of Silver Tempest, and even with all the extras of Silver Tempest, still doing really, really well, up 15.9% over the year. The Elite Trainer box of Crown Zenith, this one is a little bit interesting because it is really, Crown Zenith has not done well. Even over the last year, down 8.3% because it was such a banger midway through 2023. So 6 months after Crown Zenith released, and then it got the big reprint, and it has not recovered since, but it is starting to. It looks like, because it was at a low of like $36. Absolutely crazy for the Elite Trainer box. Now it's at $50.72. All right. Here's what we can learn. Scarlet and Violet era is going through the same stuff that Pokemon always goes through, and everyone's like, Scarlet and Violet era isn't as good as Sword and Shield era, and it's not going to do as good. It didn't have the COVID boom, blah, 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 blah. It's going to do just as good. And what I mean by that is you can buy it for dirt cheap, like $100-ish, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, and it's at some point, 5 years down the line, it's going to be worth MSRP. You're going to make 50% on gains on Scarlet and Violet era booster boxes. And the bigger thing to note is Scarlet and Violet booster boxes, MSRP is actually gone up by $20. So if you buy these boxes for $100, they actually can go up to $163 MSRP rather than $143 MSRP. Absolutely ridiculous. Scarlet and Violet base set, not a great set, but it's certainly not a bad set. There's quite a few awesome cards in it. Currently buying it at $96. Unbelievable. That's the 1 month graph, by the way. $96 for this booster box. Remember what Sword and Shield base set was worth? $200 plus. Crazy. Paldea Evolved, not a ton of movement, but this is actually like a harder and harder box to find. $128.88 in the marketplace, and it's really not that old. Okay, Obsidian Flames, a little bit of a gain over the last month, $104.41. A couple months ago, you could buy this box for $90. 151 Elite Trainer box, these are continuing to rise. We're still awaiting whether 151 is going to get reprinted. I mean, I could see Pokemon doing a big reprint of a bunch of stuff in like October, just like they did with Lost Origin and Silver Tempest last year. So we'll have to wait and see. But right now, 151 doing really good, and it's really expensive still. $67.85 market price for a 151 Elite Trainer box. Paradox Rift, $106.16. You can probably still find some deals on this box for $100 or $105. Not a bad purchase for a pretty good set. Paldean Fates, not nearly as popular as 151, but still a really, really, really fun set to open. Currently, you're buying an Elite Trainer box of it for under $40 on TCG Player. Temporal Forces, maybe my least favorite in terms of like how hard the pull rates are. Temporal Forces just feels like a drag, like you're never going to get a good pull from my experience, but a lot of really cool cards, so we'll see how the market does for this one. Currently at $104.50, leading us to the last booster box, Twilight Masquerade. I've already told the story a few times, but at Card Party a few weeks ago, people were buying this box, including myself, for $105, $100 sometimes, and occasionally I got one buy-in at $95 for a booster box of Twilight Masquerade. That was on the Friday. By Sunday, almost every booth had sold out except for one, and it was selling for $120 and up to $125 for a booster box. People are liking this set way more than anyone expected them to, because the vibe around Twilight Masquerade early on was like, this set is not going to be that good. So now it's at $107.17 on a little bit of an up and up. So here's what that tells us. I mean, people are liking Scarlet and Violet era, whether or not you're reading about it. There's, of course, the loud people on social media that are like, Scarlet and Violet doesn't matter and it's not that good. Scarlet and Violet is really good. It's going to do the exact same kind of trends as Sun and Moon did, as Sword and Shield did. Maybe it won't go as big because I am fully aware that there was that COVID boom and lots of money coming into the hobby. But Scarlet and Violet is seriously, like, people are excited about it. The illustration rares are absolutely epic. The special illustration rares are epic. The special illustration rares are actually hard to get a PSA 10, from my opinion. And I mean, there's just lots to like about it. And these cheap prices, how do you go wrong? This is me speculating, of course, but this is what I'm doing. I'm just buying some of the newest booster box every time, whether I like the set or not, which I like most sets. But I'm buying it because now I have a little bit of almost all the Sword and Shield booster boxes, because I did that exact same thing. Bought. Sit into the closet. It goes. 5 years from now, Sword and Shield doesn't even need 5 years anymore because it's already been 2 or 3 years, and we're seeing big gains. Scarlet and Violet is going to do the exact same thing. That's just the way the market moves as booster boxes go out of stock 5 years from now. People are going to want to open up the old sets. That's just the way it is. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the content. My name is Colin. Make sure to subscribe to the channel with bell notifications on. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. What are you buying or what are you selling in July 2024? Appreciate you watching, and until my next video. Peace.